The Queen, after such an amazing day at the start of the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, has sadly tonight announced that she will not be attending the Thanksgiving service, of course, in her honour for her 70-year reign at St Paul's Cathedral tomorrow. She will, however, be lighting the first beacon for the beacon, which is going to roll out across the country. So I'm hoping that means she's not too bad. It just means she can't travel at the moment, because Windsor Castle to St Paul's is quite a hike at 96 when you've got mobility issues, and clearly suffering some discomfort, as the palace has said in their statement. Well, I'm joined now in the studio by Countess Hitchingbrook, Julie Montague, author of The New Royals, and royal commentators, Katie Nicholl from Vanity Fair, and Kinsey Scoville. Welcome to you, Kinsey. You were so excited to see me earlier, I thought I would double your excitement and bring you from the Fox studio to here, so welcome.
Thank you so much. I am a huge fan.
Well, I'm a big fan of yours too now, so that's two of us. Just start with you, Katie, if I may. This is not good news. I mean, whichever way we try and dress this up, for the Queen to miss the big Thanksgiving service, she's a big churchgoer, a big believer.
Well, she's the head of the church.
Yeah.
So it's a
and
big
for her
it's a
not
big
to
deal.
be there is a big deal. What do we read into this?
OK, so I'm going to preface it by saying it is a shock. I know of people tuning in this evening and thinking, oh, gosh, you know, this is not good. It's not great. But when I came on your show a few weeks ago, I said to you, I was told by a source close to the royals that nothing was certain.
Yes.
Because, as you pointed out, she really wasn't very well. So the fact that we've had 2 balcony appearances today, the lighting of the beacons this evening, I think suggests there's no need for alarm bells to be ringing. However, it's going to look very strange. And as soon as I heard that news, I thought, do you remember in 2012? And the Duke of Edinburgh wasn't at that service of Thanksgiving, and how strange it felt.
Yes.
And I just think, when you take away the Queen from a service of Thanksgiving to thank for her life, it's going to look very strange.
Well, also, it's a little bit sort of cursed, this event now, Julie, because we've already had the Archbishop of Canterbury pull out because he got COVID. He was supposed to be officiating. Prince Andrew, whose appearance in itself was going to be very controversial, I think, because last time he appeared with the Queen was at Prince Philip's funeral, and people didn't really like it, the fact that she was appearing to sort of accept him back into public life. So he was due to be there, but he's also tested positive for COVID. So there's a lot going on.
There is. It's going to look very empty, I think, tomorrow at the service, because now the Queen won't be there. Prince Andrew won't be there as well. And I do think that there might be, that moment of awkwardness, because then you have Harry and Meghan coming, and we know that they obviously still have a great relationship, as they say, with the Queen, but the Queen will be missing. So I think there's going to be this moment of, what is going to happen?
In there.
Exactly. Who are they going to be sitting next to?
No question. I was told by a very good source it was pretty tense today, that behind the scenes, apparently, there was some disquiet from palace officials that Meghan and Harry turned up apparently 15 minutes late, not for the actual start of the parade, but 15 minutes later than they were supposed to. And apparently it was all quite frosty behind the scenes, and the rest of the family went out in the garden and were milling around, and they just disappeared. So there's already a lot of tension there, and the only glue, it seems, in this whole tension is the Queen.
Absolutely.
And she's now not going to be there. So we're going to have a bit of a drama tomorrow morning, potentially, in a church where there aren't many of them, and the ones who are going to be there don't get on.
I agree, and I think that it's really important to the Queen that the family is united. I think it's important to her because she's concerned about Prince Charles, and she wants everybody to accept him, and she wants there to be healing and peace. So I'm concerned about tomorrow's.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's just hope it all goes peacefully and well, but it's not looking particularly good, is it, given all that's been going on? I just want to go through some of my highlights. I was right there at the palace today covering it for Fox in America, and it was very moving the whole day. It was very inspiring. It felt me very proud to be British, actually, I have to say. It showed the country at its best. It was a beautiful sunny day, and the Mall was absolutely teeming. The atmosphere was fantastically positive. So after all the mayhem of the pandemic, and given that the country is ravaged by inflation at the moment, many people are really feeling the pinch. It was a great celebration of what it is good to be British, and I love that. But there were some heroes and villains today. Inevitably, the villains were led by radical vegans who decided to try and ruin the party by throwing themselves over railings and lying, pretending to be dead on the floor in front of some of the military as they went by. They were immediately flatlined by, I think, meat-eating police officers. I don't know what it is with vegans, other than they're permanently angry, and dare I suggest, they're hangry, because they're never having a good meal. And this is what happens when you don't eat a balanced diet. You literally go nuts. So they tried to ruin it. They got removed. In my heroes category, you can't get past little Louis, who's Kate and William's youngest, who basically spent his entire time on the balcony pulling faces. We did a montage of his greatest hits. It's from the Daily Mail, I think. This absolutely spectacular. Although I did caption it, "Is this the moment Auntie Meghan arrived?" Which is probably the reaction of most of the royals. So that was most certainly in the thing. And talking of Auntie Meghan, she was caught, of course she was caught, because she was going to make sure she was, through the balcony for the Trooping the Colours. So this is the behind the back of the palace, that balcony, sort of very much appropriately the reserve balcony, which is where she found herself, along with being in an outhouse rather than the primary balcony. And this is her having the audacity to tell the young royals to shush, because they've been yapping too much. This from the greatest yapper in the history of modern monarchy. So a little ironic, if you don't mind me saying.
Were you silenced, or were you silenced, or were you silenced?
Was I silent or was I silenced? Exactly, yeah. It made me chuckle anyway, whichever way you look at it.